Dimela, Salvona, Sakpase, Namaste, Abshin, Dubra Osra, Assalamu alaikum, Hotep. Buenas noches, bonsoir. What's going on, folks? Welcome to another episode. This is season 2, episode 38 of the Dory Hilaria Show. I'm very pleased, honored, and blessed to be able to bring to you inspirational leaders from across the street, across the town, across the country, and across the globe who inspire, impact, and influence people to live their lives a little bit better than they did yesterday. Tonight is a very special. It always is, but I think it's kind of funny. It's actually very funny. I do have a special guest, and this is actually a sister who has been on my show before. And so we're actually going to do a little bit of unpackaging. We're going to unpackage something that was very meaningful and funny to the both of us when I took a trip during this summer. And that's part one. Part two is that we're going to have like announcements. So let me just be clear from the very beginning. I really wanted to call these church announcements because the persona that I was going to put on was going to be like, okay, this is church announcements. Those who know and grew up, especially in the Baptist church, you know what I'm talking about. But I was like, how can I really like make it a little bit of my own? So y'all are going to actually help me over the next couple of days or weeks, try to figure out what kind of like announcements this is going to be, which is going to be in part like review of certain things or topics that we have been talking about over the past couple of weeks. And then moving forward, those of y'all who would like to say, hey, Doriel, like 2 people did today, and say, can you announce this for me? Am I the actual reporter? I guess I am. So we're going to have a section of like announcements. So y'all help me figure out like what the name should be. So please welcome to the Dory Hilaria Show. And of course, you have got to make sure you have your mug because it is always going to be tea time here. This is Sister Amanda.
Hi.
Hey. Hey, Ramonda. I'm so glad you're back.
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so glad you're back. This is going to be totally, totally hilarious. So I just wanted to like start off with the fact that let me take my sip now because we're going to be laughing through the whole thing. But can I just say, I not only have my little branded mug, Ramonda has a special mug tonight. Ramonda, what is your cup?
I have a teacup and it has a magnolia on it. One of my favorite flowers.
Yes. So please tell me what the special significance of the magnolia is. Let people know why magnolia is your favorite like image and icon and thing that has to be all over your place.
Well, because I have a business by the name of Mocha Southern Belle. And one of the first flowers most people think of when they think of the South and a Southern belle is the magnolia. So what would be more befitting than to have my teacup with a magnolia on it?
I love it. I love it. And so for those of you who do remember, Amanda was on the show a couple months ago for a couple of different reasons. Number one, I think we were talking about homeschooling, right? We were talking about homeschooling and the benefits of homeschooling and the blessings of homeschooling and how there are a greater number of, and you know, my audience, Black female Black families who have chosen homeschooling. And of course, this became even more prevalent through, as I say, Rona, to address the needs, the self-esteem, the personal character and development and values of, I love it. Excuse me, pinky up.
No.
What?
No. That is a faux pas, actually.
No, really?
You're not supposed to lift the pinky when you drink from a teacup. A lot of people do it. I think we hear it a lot with our sisters who wear pink and green. That's one of their things. But if we are observing tea etiquette, we would not lift the pinky.
Okay, so tea etiquette, y'all heard it from Sister Ramanda, who is the etiquette empress. Okay, consultant. Pinky down.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna have to really work to keep that pinky down. Okay, So thank you very much. And
You're welcome.
so her business about etiquette for, let's say, the young and the younger is
Yes.
available on her site, which is, oh,
www.mochasouthernbelle.com.
and I'm going to type that in. As a matter of fact, if you can grab your link and drop it in the chat, then I'll definitely make sure it comes up.
Okay.
Okay. So in short, I took a trip. I literally was on the road and in the air a couple of times during the summer. And one of the places that I went to was New Orleans. Went to New Orleans. I was at a convention. And let me just start off by saying, so there was this guy. And that's all I'm going to say. If y'all catch it, then later on, when I actually talk to this person, you'll be like, oh, okay. So my first introduction to New Orleans was this sort of very funny situation that my mother will never let me live down. But, it's all right. Let's just say I came home. But uh, I am a lover of sweets and I do a lot of work in the kitchen. I love to do food prep. And so when I was on my trip during the summer, because Ramunda lives now, you live in what state and how close were you?
I live in Hammond, Louisiana, and I was about an hour away.
Okay, so Ramunda so graciously drove the hour from where she lives to where I was in New Orleans. And she was like, oh, and we literally became besties through social media. Like, we just joined into a group and just sort of found our way into each other's hearts and friendship. And so this is a very, very beautiful connection and sisterhood. And shout out to Sade, who introduced us. We'll get Sade in here at some point. So we're down in New Orleans, and of course, for those people who are, I guess, foodies, one of the things that if you're in New Orleans, you got to pick up is what?
Pralines.
Praline. So, Mama, I know you were watching. So, this is what I'm unpackaging. Well, first of all, actually, the big thing that I went down there for wasn't actually pralines, it was actually beignets. So, I'm at a convention. If y'all follow me, you saw me make not only one trip, but two trips to Cafe Du Monde, okay, in 1 week. And I had me a fill. There was like white powder all over my mouth. People like, child, what are you doing? But I was at Cafe Du Monde. I had to have me some beignets. So I go, and of course, I'm having an amazing time. And then when we were leaving the market, and what is the name of that market? That whole walk.
It's the French Market.
So the French market. So we're strolling along the French market, hopping into all of the little stores. And we go into this one store, and along all of the shelves, is this particular thing. Tell them what the thing is, and then I'll unpackage it.
Okay, there were spices, herbs, seasoning blends, and there are several brands that are very popular here. You have the Tony Chatchery, you have Slap Your Mama, and the Tonys is the one that a lot of people love because they have a lot of varieties. So that was mainly what we saw.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying to open this box. So when we were there, I kept seeing all these seasonings, and again, I really love to do a lot of food prep. And of course, we're not even going to get into the conversation about Creole versus Cajun. I am not the aficionado. I am not going to delve into that conversation because I will butcher it. I don't want to get kicked out of NOLA. I've only been there twice. So I will bring back experts to chat about Cajun versus Creole at a later date. But I was like, oh, what is that? I would love to do that and like share it with folks. Now, let me just say for the record, this is not an endorsement. I am not getting paid by the people who make these things. I kid you not. I ain't do that. At least not today. But later on, that might be the thing. But I had to say, oh my goodness, so let me try it. She goes, no. Don't buy it from here. Sorry. So she went to a grocery store. Now, here's the funny thing. So, of course, I've never seen these seasonings before. At least I didn't think I did. As soon as I get home, I go to my store, and I'm from Brooklyn, and so I belong to the Park Slope Food Co-op. I shop there all the time. I'm a member. And as soon as I get home, I just happen to gaze in the spices section. No big deal. I look up and I said, there's one. There's one. So here we go. Here's my package. I just opened it. So let me see. This is the first time I'm seeing it. So we have, tell me what?
That's the bold Creole seasoning.
Tony, and is it pronounced Chatchers?
Yes.
But there's an
Tony,
E.
Tony Chatcheries.
Oh, Chatcheries.
Mm-hmm. And I may be butchering it because I am not native to Louisiana.
Okay.
But that's how I have always pronounced it.
Okay, so we have the Tony Chatcheries bold Creole seasoning, great in everything. So y'all know now what I'm gonna have to do right now. I'm gonna have to go to the kitchen on another day and do some kitchen work. Okay, oh, we got another one. So we have
that's the no salt seasoning blend.
So y'all know some of us really need to be using this. Okay. I actually use Spike. I love Spike. It has no salt, but it's a really great seasoning blend. Oh, I got a big one of these. Oh, child, what is it? Is this the same? No, this isn't the same one.
No, that's a different one, and that's just the regular seasoning blend.
Okay. So
the other one is bold.
Okay, got it. Creole, and you see, it don't say Cajun. It says Creole. And then we have, okay, and so this is now we're gonna have to check this one out, the right. Body. So now we have this up here. It's just literally, I never saw this on any of our shelves. If anybody saw these Tony Chatcheries, let's say Chatcheries, and let someone say it's different, say something to me. Like maybe I just kept missing it. But we do have Badia up here. I think it's pronounced Badia, Badia. I don't know.
I always say Badia. But that one I love on everything. I put it on mostly like roasted vegetables. It's amazing on roasted vegetables. And I put it on meats as well. I know you don't you don't eat meat, but I do love it on roasted vegetables.
Yep. As soon as you said that, roasted vegetables, and then I thought about when I do roasted vegetables. This definitely seems, wow. Oh, wait. What's in this? So if y'all know this, most of y'all know this brand, Badia, right? Badia. So let's see what's in this one. Okay. Okay, so dehydrated vegetables, garlic and onion, salt, spices, herbs, and tricalcium phosphate as an anti-caking agent. Got it. All right, so we will try this out. Cool. And then, are y'all ready? Praline. Oh, I'm sorry. I was supposed to say pralines. Sorry. Don't let the NOLA people hit me.
Yes. My country self from Mississippi.
From the SIP. Yeah. The SIP. I love it. I'm so excited. So we have, and this is Sweets and
More.
Sweets and More by Sharon, homemade, baked with love. And so did you put it in the chat, right?
Let me put that in. I just did. That's a link to her business page. And I think she mentioned that she had not had any of her goods be shipped to New York yet. So this is the first for her. So I did want to make sure I tag her business so other people have the opportunity to patronize her.
Please. So I would love to actually just send folks, listen, y'all down in New Orleans. I'm trying to say right, New Orleans. Go see this sister. Okay, I'm gonna have to try one on camera. I'm just gonna have to try one. I don't know, maybe I'll make this a little short. Okay. And then, yes, so I have to say, right, shout out to my mama. Hey, mama. So my mom, I asked my mom to make some cookies for me. And so she just said, trade cookie dough for pralines. I don't know, mama. I don't know. I literally had these shipped, mama. now watch my mother like walk all the way over here to my house in the middle of the night with a praline. You better give them to your mama. So here we go. They're really nice and little bite size. Okay. So actually there's a little story. So my mom and I went on some trip a couple of years ago, and we go to I think it's called the Atlanta Mall. This is many years ago, like maybe 30 years ago. And there was this place, Mom, if you know what the name of the place is, but it was a place that literally made pralines. And we literally loved it so much that we bought like big boxes, but of course we put it in the freezer. But then we wound up like shipping some, and again, this is 30 years ago, shipping some up to New York. And then when we went back, we were like, no, we can't leave. We can't get on the plane. So we go get these. So this is how big they are. Yeah, Mama, I think they may not survive the night. Okay. So let's see. I do have a sweet tooth, so y'all just work with me here. So here it is. Here it is. All right, let's take a bite. Oh my gosh. It's soft. It's very, very soft. Wow. Y'all just excuse me.
Have your moment.
Oh my goodness. So it's very buttery toffee. It has a thick buttery toffee, like consistency and taste. Oh my. Yeah. I'm gonna be awake for a long time. This is gonna keep me up. I have work to do. It's fine. Okay. So wait a minute. Hold on, I need a sip. Okay. So Sharon, sweetie pie. Brooklyn loves it. Flatbush at that loves it. If anybody else wants to like send me stuff to try, I'm good. I got sweet tooth. I'm good. All right. Thank you very much. So we had a phenomenal time. In New Orleans. And actually, did we talk about New Orleans before?
I don't think we really had spoken a lot about it. Because again, I'm a transplant here, so I I get out some, but it's usually to like the aquarium and museums, things like that. That's kind of my thing. So I really I don't do the French Quarter a great deal. So
yeah. Okay. So I'll just say one or two things and then we'll shift to another topic. I'll take a bite first. So I get down, and this will be short. Now, of course, those people who have been to New Orleans, yes, I love the Magnolia. I love the Magnolia for a cup of tea. Y'all are gonna see. Now, this is actually part of my announcements. I'll come later, but y'all just keep in mind 2 cups of tea. 2 cups of tea. If someone wants to type that in the chat, 2 cups of tea. That will be like part of my tagline. There's a reason. I get down there. I get to New Orleans again. I was at a convention. Those people who know, I have a great love and admiration for an organization. I don't mind mentioning it here. This is my show. I can say what I want. The Lot Carey Baptist Farm Mission Convention, and our convention this year was in New Orleans, Louisiana. 10 years ago, it was in New Orleans as well. Thank you, Sister Savannah. 2 cups of tea. That's right. Keep it on your mind. I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to drop some hints. Thank you, Sister Tavetta. So we go to New Orleans. I arrive on like the Saturday, and as I'm walking down the block, all I see is red. Now, those people who are from New Orleans or knows what happens on the second Saturday in August every year, I just see people in red. first people I see is two men. I see two men in red, and not just red, but red dresses, and kind of like red dresses that had tutus on them. Now I'm from New York, but I was just like, okay. Then I go around the corner, and then I see more people in red, and I'm like, oh, this must be a thing. Then I have a flashback, no joke, 10 years ago. I was like, didn't I see something similar? So then I realized it was like a race, or not a race, but a walk. But apparently, like hundreds and hundreds of people converge onto this part of New Orleans to do this walk. But everyone wears a red dress. And I said, oh, okay. So that was my introduction. Of course, we had a great time. I do the French Quarter. I was sort of doing a little travel, or solo travel, if you will. Those who know. And so I converged onto the French Quarter myself, by myself, late at night. And of course, people are like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? I'm like, let me not put it out there, but I'll say, like, I'm from Brooklyn. I sort of carry a little bit of a swagger, just a little bit. But, I go into the French Quarter, and it's just, y'all know the French Quarter is like mobs and mobs of people. It doesn't matter what time of year. So I've never gone during Mardi Gras. But I'm like, this is the middle of August, and y'all is acting all like this. Okay. I went in, I walked halfway, and I came right back out. That's all I could do. Food was great. Atmosphere was great. Saw some really great people. Had an amazing time. Ate amazing food. And was just very, very interested in the people who tour, and then the people who live. The people who tour and the people who live. I've seen similar, I guess, demographics in Washington, D.C. I see similar demographics even in New York City. That there's just a stark difference in like the amount of money. And so now I'm just talking about economics, the amount of money that comes into a city, a community, a neighborhood, and how the line of who has and who has more, I'll put it like that, it's so close together. So although there's all this money that comes into these places, you see literally intertwined the people who have and the people who have more. And so I'm just very aware of it right now. And so your thoughts on like when we were down on, what did you call it again?
The French Market, the French Quarter, like that whole area
Right.
is the French Quarter.
So you and I, we actually walked around, sort of drove around, and we were just fascinated by the houses. And you were telling me some information about, I don't know, I guess the way the houses were built or the names of the streets. What were we talking about?
Yeah, well, I think we were talking about like the shotgun houses and how they are like, built on like stilts almost. So that when they, experience flooding and things like that, they're less likely to, have as much damage. I'm trying to think. And then like a lot of the architecture, in New Orleans is kind of influenced, like French influenced. So that's one of the things I love about it. I love all the ornate details and all that stuff. But I think that was it. Unless there's something else you remember in particular.
That was the focus. And what's very interesting is that over the past week and a half, I know it's literally in the 2 different citations in the past 48 hours, I've seen people talk about the shotgun houses, talk about the houses in the French Quarter or in New Orleans in general. And I'll just spend a moment on that, and then I'm going to shift to another topic. And that was, someone said, a Black woman who appears to be, let's say, someone who does like historical restoration. Let's put it like that. Or she's a historian. And she says, oh, well, the influence of the shotgun houses and the different types of, like, maybe 4 or 5 different types of shotgun houses comes from French influence, but she said comes from like Haiti. And I was like, that's interesting. So, I do a little ear hustling, a little eye hustling, and I dig deeper in the comments. And, someone says, something actually that wasn't necessarily so nice. But then someone sort of shot back and said, well, if you don't think that some of the influence comes from Haiti, which, yes, was influenced by the French, yes,
Correct.
but you see the same or similar type of houses and the ornate, let's say the woodwork, but then the, how do I say, the construction sh- structure. I know I'm saying it twice. The structure of the houses in other Caribbean countries as well. And I said, ooh, back at you. How about that?
And then
So,
even all the bright colors as well.
oh, and then I found out about the blue on the ceiling.
Yes, the
Say
haint
that.
blue.
Say it again.
Haint blue.
Tell what you know about that.
Okay, so it's believed to ward off spirits. So oftentimes they will like paint the ceiling of the porch blue, and I don't know all of the details surrounding it, but that's a like very specific color blue. It's almost like sky blue almost.
Hmm. And so, those of you who are not aware of this, just go Google. Google University is your friend, and just type in, Louisiana painting blue ceiling and see what you come up with. But I thought it was just very fascinating. Of course, like, as I'm a younger person, I'm like, oh, cute blue. But now I'm like, wow, I see it a lot. What's the connection? So I just wanted to just share a little bit. So, of course, I'm going to be doing a lot of food prep with my Tony Chatteries. I guess I'll figure out how to say this properly when I have some other people on who are from New Orleans. And let's see what we can cook up in the kitchen or prepare in the kitchen. So I want to thank you, Ramunda, for being my special guest right now. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
you.
having me.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Mom. So it's the underground in Atlanta. That's right. On my way for those pralines. Mom, you better stay yourself right at home. Okay. I might save one for you. I'll put one in the freezer for you. Okay. Maybe. But thanks so much. And so, yes, this is Ramunda. And Ramunda, please, did you put your,
I did it in
it's in the
the
private? Got it. Here we go. I'm going to get it. Here we go. And let me come back here and put it in here. And then, so I will say that, here we go, that Ramunda and I, we actually get together and some other folks. And this is, I guess, part of, I don't know if I'll call them church announcements, but announcements that we get together actually weekly to plan. We are part of a planner community. We're part of a Black female planner community. And we really have a great time literally organizing the stuff that we do. So we're both shepreneurs, entrepreneurs. Sister Tavetta, you are happy to join us. Just let me know, DM me. And we literally just talk about what's happening during the week. How are we scheduling? How are we making time for our businesses, our family, personal time? How are we trying to grow and scale the things that we do? I do, of course, my show every week. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work, not just designing and setting this up, but engaging people in conversation in order to let them know, hey, if you want to share your information, keep in mind 2 cups of tea. I'm just saying that. That if they want to share their information or have announcements, that it's a way to do that. And so I love live streaming. Those people who know. And I love talking to people and archiving. The keyword is archiving the precious stories and experiences that those who have, how do we say in the church, toiled in the heat of the day, something like that. But I'll get it, Mom. If you remember, tell me how it goes. And I just want to make sure that those voices are heard and that people get the word out. And so, my favorite phrase is to push the live button. So thank you, Sister Ramunda, for pushing the live button with me today. And I will See you next week. Is there anything that you have going on that we should definitely share with the folks so that they can follow you and then join along?
Um, if you're interested in following, I do have a group for my page where I'll be sharing a little more information, a little more, tips and content. It's called the Mocha. I'm sorry, the Mocha Bell and Bow Collective, and I can add that link. I'll go and grab it. Um,
Is it all one word, Mocha Bell and Bow Collective?
no,
Okay. Then I'll let you put that up there.
yeah,
Okay, no problem.
okay.
So while she's doing that, I'm going to say ciao to her for a second. Actually, I'll probably just do our picture now. We can do that now. We're going to move over into announcements. So let me say this before I get into announcements. Thank you so much for the people who have really paid attention to, oh, there it goes. Mom says pure sugar and butter. Mom, shh, don't let the people know. Those people who have paid attention to this show over the past number of years now, maybe like probably officially maybe 4 or 5 years, and who have started to suggest. I know people initially were like, what is Doriel doing? Why is she talking on social media again? What is she talking about? But then they started to see, here we go. They started to see beautiful. Is that it?
That is it. But since it's in the comments, they can click the link.
Okay, no
Yeah.
problem. Good. So that people are starting to send people and say, how can we connect with other people? And I really, really, really appreciate it. I've had 3 subtopics or series. One that was called, that is, because it's still continuing, ministers on a mission. The other is called Politician and the People. And the last is called A New Class is in Session. So all 3 of those subcategories encapsulate whether it be social justice or education, activism, wellness, spirituality, or religion and spirituality, and thinking and teaching and learning outside of the box. And those are and then there's stuff like this, which is just pure shenanigans that I like to say and talk about. So I want to just thank everyone for popping on. So before I switch to my announcements, I'm going to hide this for a moment. Ramonda, you and I are going to take get your mug. So those of you who don't see the aftermath of this, at the end of every show, this is what I do. I actually take a picture with my guest and we hold our mugs together. You only know this if you actually were on the show, but this is the final thing that we do. So we're going to do it here. All right, move yours closer to me. The other way. I know it's mirror. Okay, ready? Okay. Excellent. I got it. Thank you so much, Ramonda. I really appreciate you popping on.
Thank you.
And I'll see you at our weekly chat session.
Yes. See you then.
Okay, later. Bye. So other folks, I want you to hang, to chill with me for another moment. So this is going to be my announcements time. Now, once again, these are things that people have either said, hey, Doriel, can you share this, or can you get this out? Or I'd love to, have you let your audience know what's happening. I think it's hilarious. I think it's amazing that I would have this audience that people would say, yeah, like when she speaks, a couple people listen. So I'm going to kind of go through a couple of announcements and then we'll be done in about maybe like 7 minutes. So one thing, I'm very, very blessed and honored to have been able to capture the attention of the man that we had here last week. And that is Chester Higgins. He is a photographer that's known here in the States, but he's also known in Africa as being a very, very amazing photographer. And the book that we talked about, and I'm lifting because this thing is heavy, is called Sacred Nile. Sacred Nile. It literally is an entire coffee table book of photography of about 40 to 50 years of trips that he's taken to the continent. These are not postcards. This is his photography. Like postcards would be made from this book. Did not know. And so if you go to just, I guess, look on the YouTube channel, look on my page, and you'll see last week I spoke with Chester Higgins, and that text is Sacred Nile, and he is trying to get that book into the hands of universities, high schools, as another way to share the information about Africa, about Egypt, the religious and spiritual aspect of Egypt that has funneled down to most of the world religions that we have. And I had a flashback, and when he mentioned his name, and I told the story of how I met him, or how he came and approached me. That's the key. He came and approached me, of how I actually had his work in my home for the past 23 years. I literally bought these cards to thank some sisters who came to a celebration that I had, and these cards were the thank you cards. But when I went to go send them, they were so beautiful that I never sent them. So I'm sorry, but if you came to that celebration and you didn't get your thank you card, I still have it. I'm so sorry. But look, like there's even still the picture and my comment in my note in it to some people. So I literally said, oh my goodness. So now I'm actually just going to put these cards up in my home and put them on my walls. So that's Chester Higgins. The other announcement I have is, thankfully, Brian Cunningham, the assembly member who's an assembly member in my district, not in my district, excuse me, but in my community, that's the better way to say it. He is participating in maternal health awareness, which this month, one of the things is being focused on is maternal health awareness. And it started out, this is how it started out. It started out with us talking about how he wanted to do this, have this talk back. So there's a movie called Aftershock. If you're not aware, please type it in and then type in maternal health. Type in the word Aftershock and then maternal health. It is a documentary that is discussing and sharing about a Black woman's struggle, or actually a Black couple struggle, husband and wife, of where the wife in labor gives birth, goes home and complains about not feeling well, returns to the hospital saying that she's not feeling well, and the hospital does not necessarily take her cries for help, literally and figuratively, seriously enough. Unfortunately, she passed away. The story of Aftershock is about looking at the lives and the journey that the fathers and husbands are going through after this aftermath. So we started having this conversation about how Assembly Member Brian Jenkins wants to host this panel. And in the conversation, look, again, it started out, oh, he's interested in having this conversation. I was like, great, that's amazing. Oh, I think I just met somebody who might be connected to it. So prayerfully, it's going to work. It's going to happen October 26th. And so you're going to see it on my page. You'll see a notification. There's going to be a watch party, and then there's going to be a talk back. And the talk back is going to be of some people who are in the Brooklyn community who have gone through issues similar to this about maternal health and healthcare not being as accessible to them as it is to other communities. If you know, you know. And with that, I said, wow, I'd be happy to, help out. How come? No, actually, I like to say, why come? Why come does the statement say, oh, so Doriel, what questions are you going to ask? How I get to be the person? I don't know. But I am excited. Here we go. I can't put it up, but you will see this on my page. It's called A Dad's Discussion. I know you can't see it, but I'll put it up on my page. I'll be tagged in it. And so if you are in the Brooklyn area, please look for this note or this post. Even if you're not in the Brooklyn area, go try to find the documentary and then go share it in your own communities. It is something definitely that has to be shared across the waves. It is extremely, extremely important that the voice of women, the voice of men, the voice of fathers and mothers and husbands and wives who are going through, who are birthing babies, who are birthing new life, that if there's any sort of discomfort, that discomfort gets recognized, gets acknowledged, and gets attended to by the medical community. So that is one. The next thing, and there's just one after this, there's two other announcements. The next thing is that this Saturday is the Sisters in Business Expo. Yay! Shout out to my sister who I've grown up with in church, and that is Aisha Taylor Issa. Aisha Taylor Issa. She is the founder and CEO of Sisters in Business Expo, which is the first Black, let me get it right, the first Black owned and led and run multi-city, I have to close my eyes to think, multi-city tour expo for women entrepreneurs. There we go. It's fifth, I believe I'm saying it right. It's fifth year. And this is the end of the tour. There are 4 cities. There's New Jersey, Philadelphia, Atlanta, and South Carolina. I think it's Columbia, South Carolina. And I am actually going to be a vendor. So I'm really, really excited. Some people know I have 2 businesses. Number one is Learn to Grow You, which is all this. And then there is Seeds of Imani, which is like my wellness suite where I craft and curate and cultivate, that's the best way to say it, products, protocols, and practitioners to help people live better lives. That's what I do. So if you know of that, you can hop over to seedsofimani.com, and see the work that I do over there. And so some people know, if you watch me behind the scenes, either I get into these like spells of making my soul covers, which is another name for my body moisturizers or body butters. And then I've just started making what I call soul cleansers. And so to, like, I guess people simply put soaps, but they're all essential oil based. So I'm just really excited to participate. It's such a beauty. It's such a gem to be in a whole great space of Black women who have literally crafted, again, or curated, made things with their own hands, and are doing the thing of showing up and showing out and trying to network and learn from each other and grow with each other. And then also work in this sort of Proverbs 31, bartering and just designing and being their creative and crafty selves. So blessed to be there. If those of you are aware, it's in Passaic, New Jersey. If you follow SIB Expo, I'll be posting it on my socials all during this week because it's countdown time, like it's serious countdown. If y'all have any questions about it, please just drop in the comment and ask questions. Happy to, if you follow my Instagram page, you'll see all not the weird, but the stuff that I have to go through in order to make this happen. Last but not least is one of my brothers. Whoops, here we go. And that is, where'd it go? And that is my brother, Richard Honeywell. It must be here. Yep. And he has a men's meeting tomorrow, and that'll be on my social as well. So I'll share it in a second. Of course, now I can't find it. Why can't I find it? Here we go. So it is a King's Men Fellowship, City of Freedom Baptist Church, which is a church that he is the pastor of. Tuesday, 8 p.m., all men are welcome. There's a Zoom link. I'll post that on my socials as well, so that those people who know and need and are seeking fellowship with brothers, to strengthen brothers, to elevate brothers. And when brothers are elevated, the whole community is elevated. Thank you, Mama. So burned the burden in the heat of the day. Is it carried the burden in the heat of the day? Something like that. Thank you, Mama. I know you were working on that. I appreciate you. I love you much. Love you much. So some of these announcements, of course, will be on my own socials, and so you can look for them. Again, if you have any, I guess, announcements that you'd like to have shared, I can do that too, and I'm happy to do that. Can I just let you know? Here's the last thing. I'm very, 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 very honored. I'm telling you, I'm very honored. Thank you to Brother Michael Walker. I'll shout him out. Thank you. It's borne the burden in the heat of the day. Right. They carried it. Borne the burden in the heat of the day. Yes, there we go. Shout out to Brother Michael Walker, who is a member of my church, Salem Missionary Baptist Church. Shout them out as well. And he said, Dorielle, listen, I got a person that I really think should be on your show. And he's a very, very cool guy, a very cool, amazing brother, very amazing musician. And he said, I want you to talk to this person. And I'm thinking, okay, who? And he says, now this is who's going to be on the show next week. So please, y'all, come. If you know any musicians, especially in the jazz world, artists, Broadway folks, don't matter. If they're in a creative space, they need to be here next week. We are going to have Rome Neal. Rome Neal, director, jazz artist, right here on the show. I'm to say that I'm honored is such a pleasure. I'm just speechless. I'm really speechless. A number of other people are coming on as well. It's just that this person, I spoke to him today and I was like, wait, you have a show, you're being honored by Adelco and all of these like lifetime achievement awards. You gonna be here? You here? I'm ready. I'm so ready. I'm getting prepared. So peace and blessings. I want you all to, of course, share this information out. If you know of people who you think need to have their moment in the sun, moment in the sunshine here on the Dorielle Larry Show, please just DM me. If you slide it to me in church, is fine. If you see me on the road, that's fine. But it's best to actually just either DM me or really click the link in the bio. If you click the link in the bio, whether it be on Instagram or on Facebook, if in that link, it'll say, it'll either say, it'll say Digital Couch Show or Digital Couch Information or Information Form. Click that link or take that link and send that link to whoever it is that, you think is worthy. And everybody's worthy, really, as long as you have, thank you, Mom, as long as you have, the person has a great story to tell. I really enjoy this. It's literally a part of my life's work. I really want to just make sure that their story is captured and is archived so that years later, if they can't, quote unquote, raise a finger, or raise a hand, that at least their voice is heard and in a platform that somebody else can see it. And not everybody may make Broadway. Not everybody may make, the evening news or a documentary or whatever. But can you push the live button for them and get them to say something and then capture it? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So thank you very much. I love you all. Peace and blessings. It's a Learn to Grow You moment where I plant seeds to help you grow. My name is Dorielle Larrier. I am the daughter of Phyllis Larrier, who is right there in the comments. Thank you, Mama. I love you very much. And Kingsley Larrier. So I am the child of Kingsley and Phyllis Larrier. I am the grandchild. Let me start that. I'm the grandchild of Harold and Pansy James, and also Samuel and Inez Larrier. Those are my grandparents. These are my people. I hail from Brooklyn born, but Barbados and the South through my parents. I love every single person, and I want to see you next week. Love you all, and have a good one.